morning, gamers. How's it going? Oh, oh man. Uh, this is awkward. Okay, there we go. We're out of there. Um, back in the Minecraft world, and I was thinking like I want to talk about um like habits. Developing good habits, because that's been something that's been pretty useful for me. I used to have a lot of really crappy habits, and I think I've gotten better. Um, so yeah, that's what I don't know. I wanted to work on this a little bit as well, maybe actually building like the walls up, because I did want to. I was playing around with an idea where I would down here. I was trying to figure out what I can do with this area. Um, and I was thinking about building like an actual library and putting all of my journals and my thoughts inside of the library. I think that'd be kind of fun to do. I'm still playing around with the idea. I was gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna do it every single day. But I think uh, my journaling habits, at least, are when I'm going through something rough, I will journal about it just to get it out of my head and stuff like that. I'm not like a daily journal by any means, but I do think it can be useful, especially if you're going through a breakup. Stuff like life-changing events where you need to emotionally get some stuff out. Can be useful, and um, I used to try to journal every single day, and it made me really think like, what do I need to write down? Blah blah blah. Um, yeah, I don't know. And I think habits in general, like I think that's kind of like a habit thing to have is it, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Oh, well, yeah. Structure, cool, yeah, yada yada. Um, so big thing is I have like this black and white build, and I want to kind of make this pop. I'm just gonna start placing pale oak all the way around, just to fill in the space for now at least, and then I can decorate later. I'm thinking though, one block out, something like that, and then we can do something with these pillars to make it stand out just a little bit more. But yeah, that's kind of where my thought process was how can I incorporate this Minecraft world into like a good healthy routine. I've used Minecraft in the past maybe as a way to escape, if that makes sense. And I mean, I think it can be healthy and get some of my thoughts out of my head, creativity and stuff like that out. Yeah, I don't know. I've had some old friends reach out to me recently, which was pretty cool. I used to play Rust with them. Everyone's like moving on in life. Seems pretty great. They got good jobs. They establishing like a pretty family oriented. They're all having kids and stuff like that. I'm in that stage. Um, you know, I don't want to. It does make me a little jealous. I'm gonna be honest. Um, it makes me realize I don't have a lot of my life put together. Um, and I got some stuff to figure out for sure. Maybe you've been prioritizing some things over other things, and gotta make some changes. But I think that's kind of what friends are for, is they kind of, maybe even unintentionally get you back on the right track. To really prioritize some things that maybe, you never really, okay, so one of my dreams is I want to be a dad. Like, that's my biggest goal in life. Just to have a family. I think, I don't know. I don't know why, I guess that sounds, a little weird. Or it could be viewed as weird. But it just, I want a family, right? I like kids. And I've tried really hard to develop good habits so I can be the best possible parent I can be, and I've kind of come to the realization that, in order to do that, you just kind of have to try your best. Not every parent's perfect by any means. Not any individual is perfect. So why am I holding myself to these standards? So yeah, I mean, I even got this job, the bus driver job, kind of as like a validation way of like, oh, I'm not gonna screw up my own kids, to the, I mean, the kids like me, they're pretty good. I think I'm definitely gonna have some challenges for sure. I don't think you should go into any situation expecting like the best possible results, because you might end up disappointing yourself. I think that goes with relationships and anything in life. Not like a Debbie Downer, but like just being realistic. Like, I am going to make mistakes, and that's perfectly fine. Like with this building, if I do end up making a library, how am I gonna connect like the library down here with all this empty space to up here? Because like all of this is gonna get filled in. So like realistically, what's the flow gonna be like to go up and down? Because there's gonna be a little balcony over here. You can walk around here. We're just gonna have to kind of roll with the flow. I can make some redstone contraption like that's like forbidden knowledge or whatever. But yeah, it's just, yeah, just prioritizing certain things. Yeah. Now, this definitely needs some depth here. So yeah, I mean, I've come a long way, and I'm doing really good right now. And I've always been pretty critical of myself for like going on dates and stuff like that. I don't like dating apps. They make me feel gross. In a way, they kind of make me, I don't want to say objectify women, but just like, if it makes me feel like they're like a vending machine product, and it just is gross. I don't know. So, I'm glad I have the realization for that, I guess. That, I'm gonna go find someone in the real world. And I've been on dates and stuff. I'm not proud of how, some of the things that I've done, I guess. Or maybe not proud isn't the right word. I've learned quite a bit. The things that I should and shouldn't do. I want to prioritize more of a friendship over like, you know, physical connection in a way. Which I don't know if that really translates too well into, you know, modern dating, but that's just kind of what I'm looking for. I don't think there's, you know, that's alright. Alright. Yeah. Something that I need to look forward to, I guess. Getting to know someone. And I'm in no rush, really. I have some other stuff clearly to figure out before getting to that level of relationship. Alright, so kind of corner you down there. Oh yeah, I don't know if I've mentioned this, but this is like one of the main gates here. And what I want is I want to have it kind of come over here. All of this is like walled off, and then it goes down, and then connects to this. Oh gosh, everything's like blocked off now. I don't know how to maneuver around my base. The walls are being put up down by this harbor, and I was gonna have like all the fishing villages over here and down here. It's gonna be like the harbor kind of marked out. And then also, when I was stumbling around, there's this thing over here. I think it'd be fun to have like a little like pocket, like forbidden trade or something. I don't know. Giving my world a little lore. But yeah, I don't know. When I was talking about prioritizing some things, I almost bought a moped off of Facebook Marketplace. It kind of looked like a cafe racer to kind of fix up and save some money on gas. And it would have been sick, you know? Like, oh man, I would have had a blast. I just don't know. I think, maybe I was filling a void or trying to distract myself in a way to finish some projects that I, you know, wasn't necessarily going to end up finishing. Or it would have prevented me from finishing those projects. I can get distracted very, very easily. So, I don't know. I just want to take more deliberate steps, if that makes sense. Yeah. I think overall I'm in a pretty good mind space. I try to learn quite a bit from my parents and stuff, from the decisions they make. That's why there's a... Oh man. Make sure to get this right real quick. I don't know. I've been thinking quite a bit about my parents, because I try to have the healthiest relationship I can with them, but sometimes it's tough. I love them as parents, but I don't think they've made the best choices, and I'm doing the best I can to learn from them. Yeah, I don't know. I don't like talking about my struggles with my parents just because I don't know, honestly, why I don't like. I don't know if I'm fearful that I'm disappointing them in some way, or if I'm, kind of, I don't know. I don't have the healthiest relationships with my parents, I guess. Finally had like a pretty good conversation with my dad. We were talking about confidence and stuff like that. And how he got it, and yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I feel, yeah, that's probably something I need to be a little more comfortable with, is talking about my relationship with my family. Because no family's perfect. There's just some boundaries that I've had to set, so I can live the healthiest way I possibly can. And part of that is just, distancing them, which I don't necessarily like. For my parents, I feel like I should be able to go and talk to them about some issues that I'm having, or what have you. But, I don't have that. My parents prioritize some other things in their life, and this feels like my relationship was one thing they didn't prioritize. So now that I'm an adult, and they want to, talk to me, it feels like you didn't get to know me when I was young. You don't get to know me now, I guess. I don't know. It's something I struggle with. I don't know. They're good people. I love them. It's just something I struggle with. I can't. I try so hard sometimes to, go out of my way to, talk to my mom every day because she's my mom, but it just destroys me inside when that happens. It's like, they bring out the worst in me in a way. And, we've talked about that, I think. I don't know. I don't want to get too much into my family dynamic, but it's just something I've been really trying to put forward, but it seems like every step that I take to better relationship with my family, at least my parents, it's just like I take a step back. And I don't know necessarily how to fix it, or if I really should fix it. I should just appreciate who they are and kind of accept it. It's kind of the road I'm going towards trying to accept who they are, take everything with, you know, as much, I don't know if courtesy is the right word, but just accept them. I don't know. I don't want them to destroy my life in any way. This needs depth. This definitely needs depth. Flat wall, bad. But yeah, I just... I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do with them. They're getting older. You know, I just kind of have to appreciate the time that I have with them. And that's why I don't mind, you know, living with my dad. You know, I don't know. Yeah, I genuinely don't know what I'm gonna do with my relationship, or been thinking about trying to find a new job. I don't know. I feel like I can be doing better, and I'm kind of holding myself back in a way. You know, I got my pilot's license, and I thought, you know, maybe I could do something with that. But I keep holding myself back. I don't know. I just have a bunch of options that I could go for. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I've been playing around with a bunch of stuff, trying to figure it out still. You know, one of my buddies is a volunteer fighter. I think that's awesome too. It gives me a way to get involved more in the community and stuff like that. Thought about doing that. I don't know. There's a lot of unknowns, and I think the healthiest thing that I can do right now is just take it slow. Can overwhelm myself very quickly, and I think that's why I almost bought that moped. I have a tendency to hyperfixate on, you know, my life and the decisions that I make. Yeah. I don't know what this video turned into. It just seems like this is me getting some of my thoughts out, which I think can be a constructive way. It's kind of, maybe it's a form of therapy, like talk therapy or whatever. But yeah. I'll figure it out. I've overcome worse. Maybe I'll share my wisdom when I find it. You know. My church is having a service outside today. It's looking all right. You know, it's not horrible out. I'm pretty excited about that. I've been getting more involved with that. I'm gonna start doing the video side of things. So they have like this camera for the live stream services, and I'm playing around with a little knob and moving the camera around for the live stream so people can view what's happening. I think it's gonna be pretty fun. It's something that I'm quite grateful for, is finding a healthy place with God. Very fortunate that I have a very welcoming church. They're pretty great. know some people, they try, and some people in churches, they kind of turn them away, which it is what it is, I guess. I wish that didn't happen to them, but I think some people have to realize that they're people too, and they're making mistakes as well. Where did you spawn, big boy? Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully he didn't. Where did he spawn? Maybe on the roof somewhere. Up here. I'm gonna have to figure out lighting for this roof. Or just like sleep. But yeah, I just I feel like habits can go both ways. Negative habits and positive habits. And I've developed a lot of negative habits. And I'm trying to overcome them still. Like maybe even some of the things that I was talking about was a representation of a negative habit of overanalyzing and thinking too much about stuff. Being a little too, I don't know if emotional is the right word, but being too self-reflective of my situation. And I don't want to bring anyone down, it's just something that has been on my mind. Yo ho ho, there she is. The big plane. And I've worked on quite a bit, I've cleaned up my room this past week. I've been harboring a lot of stuff. My mom gives me a lot of gifts. I think that's how she, shares her love, but it's just, I don't need this stuff, so it just ends up getting tossed in my closet and just getting rid of all that stuff. I don't know. I don't know. I've gotten better at that too. Just saying, hey, I don't need this. Stop it. I don't want it. Bye. If she just, I don't know. Yeah, I got family issues, I guess, and I've seen that maybe some of their negative habits have impacted me in certain ways. I'm a product of my environment. I think we all are. And overcoming that has been a little challenging for me. So yeah, that's what I'm trying to focus on right now, is developing better habits. I got rid of my bed. Just dope. I used to work out in the garage, but I'm going to be building a project in the garage, so I got rid of my bed, and now I have a Japanese mattress, and I'm sleeping on that so I can fold it up during the day and work out. I'm trying to work out every day and wake up at 4. I kind of have to wake up at 4 for my job. Bussing, being a school bus driver. Dude, what? I've never thought I would be a school bus driver, but here I am. It's kind of funny. It's fun though. I don't know. We're getting to that time though. 30 minutes are up. I might come on here in the coming week to continue building this. Getting some more fine detail in the wall, because that's going to take a long time. This is a big build that I haven't really planned out too much. like with the roof and the tower. It's kind of, there's no structure to it. um, maybe is a self-reflection of how I live my life. There's no structure. Um, you know, it'll come together eventually. It'll be a big, beautiful building. All right. Well, hope you guys have a great week. I know I will. Yeah. Take care. Bye bye.